Hello, everyone, and welcome back to April's Cozy Corner. Grab your tea, your coffee, or your favorite blanket and settle in with me for today's reflective video. Today, we're talking about someone whose presence alone feels powerful. Angela Bassett, not just her success, but her discipline, her resilience, her grace, and the quiet strength it took to become the woman the world sees today. Because sometimes the most inspiring people aren't the loudest people in the room. They're the people who kept going when nobody was clapping for them. Angela Bassett's story didn't begin in Hollywood glamour. It began in Harlem, New York, where she was born in 1958. After her parents separated, her mother moved Angela and her sister to Florida. And like many strong women we admire today, her mother became the foundation of everything. Angela has spoken many times about how hard her mother worked. She was a social worker, a woman who valued education, discipline, and respect. And you can feel that influence in Angela Bassett's energy even now. There's something deeply grounded about her, something intentional. You can tell she didn't build herself overnight. And honestly, I think that's why so many people respect her. Because her confidence doesn't feel performative, it feels earned. One thing I admire about Angela Bassett is that she didn't just chase fame, she chased purpose. She attended Yale University, one of the most prestigious schools in the country. And while she was there, she studied African American studies before eventually attending Yale School of Drama. Now imagine that for a moment. A black woman in the 1980s entering spaces that historically were not built with her in mind, yet still walking in with intelligence, grace, and determination. That takes strength. And I think sometimes we forget how powerful education can be, especially for people who were underestimated. Angela Bassett didn't just want to be seen, she wanted to master her craft. That's a different type of hunger. One thing people rarely talk about is the waiting period before success. The years where you're talented but nobody knows your name yet. The years where you're trying, auditioning, struggling, doubting yourself, and wondering if your dream is actually going to happen. Angela Bassett lived through that too. Before the awards, before the red carpets, before becoming iconic, she spent years doing smaller roles and fighting for opportunities. I think that's the part of success stories people need to hear more often because social media has made it seem like success happens instantly, but for most people, real success is slow. It's built quietly in private over years, and Angela Bassett's journey is proof of that. Then came the role that changed everything. In 1993, Angela Bassett portrayed Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It? And when I say she transformed into Tina Turner, I mean she transformed. The voice, the movement, the motion, the pain, and the strength. She didn't just imitate Tina Turner, she honored her. And the performance was so powerful that it earned Angela Bassett a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination. But what makes this even more meaningful is that Angela represented a woman who survived unimaginable pain and still reclaimed her life. And I think that's why the role resonated so deeply with people. Because it wasn't just entertainment, it was survival, it was resilience, it was transformation. One thing I've always noticed about Angela Bassett is her dignity. Even in Hollywood, a place that can be chaotic and superficial, She's carried herself with elegance and respect, and that matters, especially for Black women in entertainment who are often pressured to shrink themselves, over sexualize themselves, or constantly prove themselves. Angela Bassett always seemed to understand who she was, and honestly, there is something healing about watching women like that exist confidently. Women who age naturally, women who stay poised, women who don't abandon themselves for validation. Now, something I think is important to talk about is rejection. Because even Angela Bassett faced rejection, even after becoming respected. There were still roles she didn't get, awards she didn't win, moments where people overlooked her talent, and yet she kept showing up. That's real resilience. Not becoming bitter every time life disappoints you, not giving up every time you're overlooked, but continuing anyway. And honestly, I think a lot of people watching this needed that reminder today. Your worth is not determined by how quickly the world recognizes you. Years later, a new generation discovered Angela Bassett through Black Panther, and once again she carried power so effortlessly. As Queen Ramunda, she represented wisdom, leadership, grief, and maternal strength all at once. And there's a scene in that movie where she says, "Show them who you are." That line became bigger than the movie itself, because I think so many people spend their lives hiding pieces of themselves to survive. But Angela Bassett's entire career feels like a reminder to stand fully in who you are. That line became bigger than the movie itself because I think so many people spend their lives hiding pieces of themselves to survive. But Angela Bassett's entire career feels like a reminder to stand fully in who you are. I think what makes Angela Bassett inspiring isn't just her beauty or talent. It's her consistency, her discipline, her patience, her grounded spirit. She reminds us that success doesn't have to make you lose yourself. And honestly, in today's world, that's rare. A lot of people become consumed by attention, consumed by validation, consumed by image. But Angela Bassett feels rooted. And maybe that's the real lesson here. You don't have to become loud to become powerful. You don't have to betray yourself to become successful. And you don't have to rush your journey just because the internet makes everybody else seem ahead. Thank you so much for spending this quiet moment with me here at April's Cozy Corner. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue building this calm little space together. And remember, some people bloom quickly, and some people bloom slowly and steadily over time. Both are still flowers. I'll see you in the next reflective video.